Go hard, we don't take no shit. TMB, we'll take your bitch. You know where? You know we about our money. You know we don't turn down nothing. You know where?
But let's jump over to my this is the last one from the top 5 coaches. This one is a little debatable though, and that's Sonny Dykes coming over from TCU, and coming over from where's Sonny Dykes from? SMU to TCU?
Yeah, SMU to TCU.
Yeah, I got my U's all mixed up. But Sonny Dykes, 52 years old, 12th year, overall record 71-63. He played baseball at Texas Tech. As a coach, he started in 97, positions including the general assistant, player coach at quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, and special teams, offensive analyst. This is one of those new positions they got. Offensive analyst at TCU, recruiting coordinator, offensive coordinator, and head coach. So he coached for schools such as Kentucky, Northeast Louisiana, Texas Tech, Arizona, Louisiana Tech, California, SMU, and TCU. His accolades is the WAC championship in 2011. He signs for a simple 6-year, $6 million a year deal. What you think about Sonny Dykes in this spot?
I personally, it's TCU. Clearly they didn't want to make like a splash. I don't know who else they could have really gotten. I guess is kind of how you look at it. If you look at his records and his accolades and where he's been, Sonny Dykes isn't necessarily a bad. He's not a bad head coach. He's 22-15 at Louisiana Tech, 30-18 at SMU, and kind of brought it, kind of put SMU back on the map a little bit. Especially with the last couple of years, even picked up the recruiting in over there. So it's not a bad hire. You're staying within the state, so obviously he knows the state of Texas. I spoke about this earlier. Top 3 recruiting states. Obviously I'm by his number 1 recruiting state. If you're talking about football, just the way we do high school football is just something. It's something different out here. Like I was telling you off camera, my little league, we already started to go. We already had a week of camp last week and another week a month ago before that, and so we already regular practice right now. My kids today, first week, no shoulder pads, helmets. We already gonna start going over defenses and plays. Like we film study in little league. That's what I'm saying. Like football is just different out here. I'm gonna teach my son how to watch film this year. So, and we already on a whiteboard. He's already learning the number tree, the route tree. So when you're recruiting in Texas, my son's 7, by the way. So when you're recruiting in Texas, you know what I'm saying? When you know the powerhouses and where the talent is, that's what TCU is going to have to do in order to compete, and kind of stay prominent where they've at. They haven't been one like the big time schools, but they've been known as one of those schools that you still have to come to play because they will pop. On any given Saturday, they can pop you and can play tough. The only bad stint he really had was at Cal when he was 19-30 that year, but overall and 10-26 in the conference overall. Other than that, he's been a fairly decent head coach in my estimation. And like I said, with SMU, he never won, but he always kept them competitive. You got to think about where he was at and who he was recruiting up against. You got UT, you got Texas A&M, you got Texas Tech, you got U of H. It's a bunch of schools coming in. Even now, before I shut up, because I can just keep talking. You got UTSA. Boys don't know, man. They sneaky good. I've made money off this team for the last 2 years, bro.
Me too.
So y'all ain't been keeping up with UTSA, man. Those road runners. You know what I'm saying? So, it's hard in Texas, man, if you're not a big dog, and especially now with UIL and money. So I actually think it was a good hire for TCU. I'll say that.
Was it UTSA or SMU who was recently off of some sanctions or something?
SMU is off the same. That's what I'm saying. He the one that brought them back because they're the one that ultimately got the death penalty. long time ago.
Right. That's what I thought. Yeah, so he did that. That's what makes it a big smash of a hit right here with SMU, because like you said, their accolades are minimum, but it's the fact that they were put together after coming over so much turmoil. And old guy like this come in, he Dusty Baker the crew right there, right? Just an old smooth dude came in there and smoothed everything out, man.
Right.
But he gets a decent situation coming into TCU now. I don't know. A lot of people may, because of the competition in Texas, they may view TCU in different ways. Some people don't give them that much respect. But in the world of college football that we in, TCU is always live, baby. They always live. But last year was a bad year for them. Couldn't make no money with TCU last year unless you was fading them. They was 5-7 last year. They averaged 28 points on offense, gave up 34 on defense, so they was highly upside down. But Dykes gets 10 offensive returners, 8 defensive returners. At quarterback, he got a three-way battle with returners with experience. At running back, he has a fine group of returners with addition to transfers. Imani Bailey from Louisiana, Corey Wynn from Florida. Should be solid. And the receiver core, he has 9 talented returners with experience, with the addition of transfer tight end Jared Wiley from Texas, and some new talent from the freshmen. On offensive line, he has low in depth, but he has transfers from SMU and Arizona State. On defensive line, Dykes expects a lot of his 3-man front with 2 great returners with help from transfer Tyron Mitchell from Georgia. At linebacker, he has 4 talented returners and transferred Terrence Cooks from Texas and Johnny Hodges from Navy. Defensive back, this should be the defense's most solid unit with everyone returning except one, and they add transfer from Colorado and Mizzou and ULM. So 10 solid transfer players on the roster, along with some good talent coming from last year. So looks in good shape. As a smooth old dude, he should be able to slide in there and get the best out of him.
Yep. And then, Big 12, we don't know. We'll talk about one of the teams here in a second. Could have a drop-off there. Texas isn't what Texas was, So he has a great chance to surprise some teams. I wouldn't bet on them to win it, but I think they definitely could be live again this year. Maybe not quite this year. We'll see how they start. But like I said, I like the hire, and I think you can at least get them to what they were, which I think was a respectable opponent. And for people like us, like you said, live any given Saturday.
Live, man. But I don't know if they'll be so live, but if he does do a good job, and they did so bad last year, coming in here, if it sneaks past the books, we might get some good numbers messing around with TCU. And if he does well, he exceeds 5 wins, and I think the guy can get 7 wins, maybe. I ain't seen the schedule to pick him off.
But I gotta look at the schedule.
Yeah, with the talent with the talent that he has, he should be able to do something out of conference, and then he should be able to at least scale some of the bottom feeders from the conference, and then maybe get a big win. Element of surprise again right here in the conference. Well, yeah, he's going from Texas to Texas, but maybe he can slide up on one of those big schools and get a win somehow.
I think he can beat UT.
Think so?
I don't believe in Stark though, so maybe I'm a little biased because I think I think he's definitely the wrong guy for the job.
Yeah, I think we definitely that's probably one of our biggest downfalls in sports betting, especially when it's a sport like college football that you love so much. Your biases. How do you get rid of them damn biases, man? There's certain teams you just look and be like, nah.
I faded Texas a lot last year and came up. So,
some years it might work, but some years it don't work at all.
I fucking agree. I fucking agree with that.